Hey, unicorns. Okay, I'm tired.
Me too.
But green tea, am I right? Okay, so
Undisclosed brand of water.
you're hilarious. Okay,
Dasani, not sponsored.
okay, beauty guru. Okay,
Pencil, not sponsored.
first time tag. Oh my god, scandalous. Okay,
First time?
thumbnail.
Now we can use that in the thumbnail because we did in the video.
You know we're going to.
I say we like it's our channel.
It's just more fun to film with you. Okay. Yeah. I also haven't made any new videos by myself, so I don't know. Maybe we're just like really boring and I just don't know. Maybe you're like bringing down the channel. How dare you? Okay, anyways, first time tag. Okay, so what's the first movie you remember seeing?
I remember going to the theater. This is the first time I remember like going to the theater. I went many times before, I know. But this is the first one I remember. I saw Shark Boy and Lava Girl in the
I didn't know they
theater.
had that in theaters.
Mm-hmm. It was like a special release in theaters.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I think it was in 3D. I can't remember. Everything was in 3D.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the time of 3D.
It was actually before the big boom of 3D.
Really?
It was one
got
of the
annoying.
first. Yeah, it did. They still do like real 3D, and I'm like, I have glasses.
4D is the worst. They like poke you in the back and they like splash water in your face.
Oh my god!
Like...
Sorry, random. I remember this theater experience too. It was Disneyland in the theater that's right next to Star Tours. Technically, Star Tours. Space Mountain is what I was thinking. Theater right next to Space Mountain. It was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
And like rats would crawl up, and there was like snakes, and it'd spurt water on you. And I was a small child, and I was very scared.
Gosh,
It was
think about it.
It was before it got changed to Michael Jackson, so it was before 2009.
My first movie I remember seeing was Ratatouille, and I remember I was eating Mike and Ike's because I have a very weird memory.
Can you still have Mike and Ike's?
Yeah. No, they're just like weird sugar capsule things.
I stole those from my second grade teacher.
From like her desk, or
she had a jar, and it was like, if you're good, she's like, you can have a couple of Mike and Ike's.
So you weren't good and you stole it anyways?
Well, no, I was good. I got them. That's why I got to go up so much.
So you just grabbed more?
Yeah, she's like, a couple, and then everybody's like, how many is a couple? Well, she's like, how many people are in a couple? Now look at me and my polyamorous.
I know, I was just gonna say, just literally.
And I would grab a handful. And then once, after school, she left to take everybody. And I was like, oh, I forgot my jacket in the classroom because I purposely placed my jacket in the classroom. And my friend was lookout, and I opened the jar, grabbed a bunch, and had them in my hand. And she came back in. She's like, where did you get those? And I was like, oh, I've been saving them in my desk because I was in second grade. And
oh my God.
And she had no reason to not believe me. I was one of the best students in the class. And she's like, oh, okay.
My God.
It's the same teacher that made my mom stand in the corner while she was helping because she did something wrong. And isolated my best friend in a singular desk in the middle of the class because she wasn't learning right. She has really bad ADHD. Still does.
What's the first thing you do when you go home?
I take off my binder.
Yeah.
So I can breathe.
I de-wig myself.
This.
Sometimes I take off my makeup, but mostly only if I'm doing a rocker or any other cosplay where I have like fake eyelashes because it just pains me. It hurts. Speaking of which, I've like glued my eyes shut with it before, and I have like strings going on my eyes.
Oh my God.
I showed you that the other day. It's scary.
Yeah, it was terrifying. My eyes are watering.
Just thinking about it?
Because I hiccuped.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the first thing I do because it's just hot and it's summer. Oh yeah, the first sleepover that you remember. Because we probably all had more.
I had all my sleepovers at my house because I had anxiety as a child. Ever since I was 10, yeah. Bad anxiety attacks. My first one landed me in the hospital.
Jesus.
First anxiety attack.
Tag.
No, but so we always had sleepovers here. And I just remember once we pushed back the couch. There's a couch here you can't see. We pushed it back so it was in the walkway. And it was a big carpeted area. And so like it was like a circle with everybody having their sleeping bags. So all their feet were facing the middle.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. It was for one of my birthdays.
The first sleepover that I remember, I had 3 cats at the time, I think. So I had 3 cats.
I would die.
And, well, yeah. Allergic to cats tag. Anyways, so it was me and my best friend at the time. We don't really talk as much anymore, but yeah. So we were just like chilling, and I remember we had sleeping bags. It was at my house, but it was a really old house. Anyone who's watched any videos where I talk about me moving, I moved a lot. This was like the only house that we actually bought, so it was a big deal. Super cold. I don't remember what it was like when it was from, but it was like early 1900s, like so cold. The upstairs didn't even have any insulation. It was really bad. So we had on like jackets and all kinds of stuff in this big sleeping bag. That makes it sound like we were in one. 2 different sleeping bags. And we were going up and down the wood floor in my house, acting like caterpillars. So like scrunching up our bodies and we're like going. And I remember we're doing this around, and the cats, it's like pitch black everywhere. Like there's only a few lights on. The cats are like staring at us like, what are you doing? And I'm like inching my way towards one of my cats. I don't remember which one of the ones it was. It was probably just spinning. My black cat. But but I just remember we were making up a whole story about my cats and how they were like knights fighting, like we didn't even have any rodents, but they were like fighting something. And we just saw like their eyes glowing in the dark, and she started making up this whole story about them. I'm like, yeah, because we had crazy imaginations as children. So that was my first sleepover that I remember. Oh, that's right. First airplane ride. Where did you go and how old were you?
I don't remember how old I was. And I don't know if that was my first airplane ride or if I went when I was like a baby. But I remember we used to fly every summer to Iowa because a lot of my family lives there. Yeah, we would just go every summer for the reunion, which actually just happened on Sunday.
You missed it. I remember mine. I was 5 years old and I was going to Hawaii.
You've been to Hawaii?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, we went to Hawaii, and I remember it was really fun, and I had so many activities on the plane because my parents were like, oh God, do not fall apart. So they, I remember one of the main things that I had was like those, oh God, what were they? I don't remember the names of them, but they were kind of like the pipe cleaners, but instead they were like...
Sorry, I just remembered a memory from my first plane ride, but go ahead.
One second. They were like waxy, and people would like mold them together.
The bendaroos.
Bendaroos.
I had those. Those were awesome.
Bendaroos.
I used them in restaurants.
Yeah, me too.
Waiting for food, because I fidget.
Me too.
I have to.
Yeah, so I remember I did a lot of that. What's your memory?
So I remember, and my mom tells me about this, and I kind of remember it. So I loved the Care Bears as a kid, like loved them so much. And we'd be flying, and there was all the clouds. I'm like, that's where the Care Bears lives. That's Care-a-Lot. Like, I don't remember the names. Like Sunshine Bear is there. I remember that one.
That's cute.
Yeah, and I'd make stories about what the Care Bears were doing in the clouds.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
What was your first imaginary friend?
Okay, so I loved Little Mermaid as a kid, but I didn't love the original Little Mermaid. I loved the sequel.
I've never seen it.
Which had Ariel's daughter, Melanie. I don't remember
daughter?
Melanie or Melody. I think it was Melody, because, like, music fun. Melody. And I was like, oh, Melody, she's my friend now. So
Aww.
I would, like, make my parents, like, clear a spot at the table. Because we've always had a 4-person table, and there's 3 of us. So I'd be like, and that's Melody's spot. When we'd go out to eat, I would ask for, like, an extra chair.
Aw.
Yeah.
Were you ever one of the kids who was like, and we need a whole nother plate of food for my imaginary friend?
I would give her an empty plate.
That's a lot better.
Because for imaginary food for imaginary friend.
You're ahead of all these other kids.
Oh my God, is that why I don't eat fish? Because my imaginary friend growing up was a mermaid?
Probably. Look at Kia. Well, Melody's pretty mad at you now.
I have eaten 1 California roll.
Right. I was like, I thought you had more. And I'm like, no.
I've had imitation crab and like wontons before, but that's it.
No, so kind of.
I've only had imitation crab.
I remember my first imaginary friend. There was kind of like a lot of them. Oh wait, no, there's a one before it. Wow. Okay, so I remember that I had this imaginary friend that was like a vampire, and that's all I remember. I remember I'd talk to her all the time, and TMI, I would always talk to her, and I had some other friend, and we all worked at the same fairy agency because I wanted to be a fairy as a child. It worked. Sorry.
That's why we both laughed by doing this.
For some reason, we were all like part of a fairy agency, and I don't know what our goal was, but I'd talk to them like I was like on a Skype call. I don't know how I just knew about the internet as a child because it wasn't really a thing, but I was like, it's a Skype call thing. I didn't call it that, but you know what I mean.
It's like we're video chatting.
Yeah, every time I was on the toilet, I would talk to them and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't right now. And my parents would be like, but I'd just be like, I can't right now, I'm sorry. So I'd talk to them all the time and they'd always call me when I was on the toilet. I had that, and I had my most important, biggest, like, I was just an imitation crab. I looked at it, I'm like, my biggest imitation crab. Imaginary friend was actually, it wasn't even like, it was just from a show.
Like mine.
Yeah, it wasn't even like, it's a it was from the Trolls show. Simon, the like goblin or gremlin, I don't remember who he was, but he was like the bad dude. I made him to like much worse. And me and my friend, the one from like the sleeping bag thing, we had like a big front backyard area, and we would always play with our imaginary friends because why not? But I was very much the ruler of all of it, and I was like, you are going to go fight Simon, and I'm going to go talk with these fairies and make him some lunch. And she's like, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, you have to fight Simon. It actually came around to me, from her mom to my mom to me, of how I needed to stop forcing her to fight Simon.
I imagine how that conversation went with her and her mom. It's like, Salem keeps forcing me to fight Simon. They force you to do what? Fight Simon. I don't want to fight Simon.
Yeah, she was so sad about it. And then I started fighting Simon. I was like, fine, whatever. And I took it over, and I'm like, you're still my backup. I was like a slight child bully. But I guess I didn't mean to, but I was like, we're going to have fun. And she was like,
You just wanted to control the situation. What was your first like creative outlet? Like if it was art, what was the first like art you remember doing? If it was writing, what was the first writing? Like what?
It was art. Mm-hmm. Of course. I mean, what's the surprise? It was art, and it would actually be as soon as I figured out what cards were, I would like grab a piece of paper and I'd fold it in half, and then I'd always make it into like a full-blown card, and the only thing it would say, it would be like a stick figure with like a flower and like a sun in the corner, because you know, artists,
you gotta have that sun in the corner.
Yeah, no grass because it's too hard. But all it would say is, because I only knew a few words because I was like kindergartner. I almost says high school. I was in kindergarten or high school, somewhere in there. No, I was in like first or second grade, and all it would say is, I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. And that was all it would say. And it would say, from Salem. And it was just like, that was it. Just like have hearts. And I actually found out, I mean, I know I made a lot of them, but I was like early teenager when I found out about this. Now, as an almost adult, I understand it a little bit more. I made them so much that my mom had to start throwing them away. And as an early teenager, I was like, why are you like this? Because I was emo. You know, you guys saw that. Oh, goodness. But no, now I kind of get it, but it still makes me a little bit sad. Okay. Early creative outlet.
Okay, so I always did doodles. Like, I always doodled. But my love was the written word.
Of God?
Yes, of God.
So you liked writing?
Sorry, I just checked the notification on my phone. So I loved reading and writing. And so I started reading like children's novels in the beginning of first grade.
Goodness.
Like Dear Dumb Diary was the first book I ever finished.
I was still reading Bob books when I was up to like third grade.
Yeah, Dear Dumb Diary. I read Judy Moody, read that whole series. Popularity Pages, and oh God, what's the other one? I don't remember the other one, but there's another one that I can't think of.
Diary Won't Be Good.
No, I actually didn't read that till I was older.
Goodness.
Yeah.
The movies suck, but...
Mm-hmm. No, but I remember I was in 4th grade and I was in Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. And it was homework time, but I was always really fast finishing my homework. It was 4th grade too, so I was in the GATE program. Which, 4th grade. So I'd always there'd be time in class for homework, and I'd always get done during that. But anyway, so I'm just sitting there, everybody's doing their homework, and I have a blank piece of line paper and my pencil. And my friend and I created the game Under Pets, based off of Underdog. And I was, I started as Under Puppy, then I became Underdog, then I was Under Wolf.
That's quite the Pokemon evolution right there.
It was, yeah. And they were Under Hamster. He was Under Hamster. Always.
I like how it's like, I'm a puppy, I'm a dog, I'm a wolf, and it's like I'm a hamster. Go off in 7 minutes. He was the leader of the Under Pets, even though I was the creator of the storylines. Mm-hmm. But I was the tech genius. Same.
So
you could hack everybody.
Yeah, I had this. We had this backstop in the school, and one of the walls was my supercomputer. And I would always be like, da 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 da. And okay, so the villain was Mr. Rat. This is all leading to first creative thing. Yeah, the villain was Mr. Rat. And I would write these stories during Kids Club, is what we called it, not Boys and Girls Club. We called it Kids Club. And I would write these stories of different scenarios, and the next day I'd go and show Under Hamster. And then he would be like, oh no, what have you done? You wrote it, so it's happening. And then we'd play out the stories, which was really fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And now I can't even finish a story for the life of me.
Neither can I. You must have like 20 books in your closet that you haven't like...
No, I mean writing, but also, reading. I halfway finish books and then set them to the side, like, I'm going to read these later, and then I start reading fan fiction.
Yeah. Are you okay?
One of my hairs got caught in my goggles.
Okay.
First fandom.
Okay. This thing's going to go off.
In 5 minutes. Talk quick.
First fandom. I'm going to have to say my first fandom was the My Chemical Romance fandom. Because that was like the first thing that I really got into. Well, never mind. Retro gaming. That was...
Was there a fandom for that?
There's community. I don't know whichever one counts is more... I mean, I role-played like MCR, so I guess that's more
That's
of like...
more fandom.
That's more of a fandom. I did that. I role-played with my friends. We've all moved on and done much better things in our lives now. What was your first fandom?
I was 16. It was late for me getting into fandom and Tumblr, all that stuff. Yeah, I was 16.
Goodness.
Yeah, I just had thought. You were a year into fandom when I got into fandom. So, yeah, I was 16, and I'm like, you know what? I've been watching Carmilla for a while.
Oh my god.
So
Gay nerd.
So I'm going to get a Tumblr.
Oh no. It all went downhill from there.
My original Tumblr was like...
Carmilla Fan.
No, it was like...
6258, I don't know.
It was... Simply Lesbian Fangirl.
Not Simply Nailogical. Simply Lesbian Fangirl.
I was doing the Simply first, even though she was probably doing that at the time. I'd never seen her videos, because I wasn't in nail art, and that was all her channel was. No, but I was Simply Lesbian Fangirl. Which, if you wonder why, my header still for Tumblr is Simply Gay. I have kept that. But anyway, so I was in the Carmilla fandom, and I once made a post that got liked by Caitlin Alexander, and they play LaFontaine in the series, which made me realize I was trans.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the creator of Carmilla liked one of my posts.
My god.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. I hope you guys have a good night. I have to end this before this clock goes off because it's going to ding 12 times and I'm real scared.
It's midnight.
Oh,
bitch.
Goodness. I hope you sleep well. If you're also watching this at midnight, you need to go to bed. I'm not going to take my own advice.
Or don't. And take my advice.
No! People need sleep. Alright, so believe in yourself. You can do anything. Bye.